Welcome to Let's Get Dumb, the podcast where I, comedian Joe Kilgallen, and comedian Jonah Jerkins like to ask dumb questions, tell dumb stories, and just have a dumb old time with you. Jonah, how are you, my man?
I'm good.
You've been doing the dramatic pause.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
That's 2 weeks of no dramatic pause.
I've been working on my pregnant pauses. I think it's really important, and I think you can really get a point across more.
I don't care for that term, pregnant pause, by the way.
Why?
I don't know. I think pregnant should only be referred to as with child.
Uh-huh.
Not a pause. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
This moment's pregnant with something. I've heard people use pregnant for other things. I know it has more than one meaning.
Right.
But a pregnant pause, I don't care for that. I
Yeah.
like to say a dramatic beat.
Dramatic beat, I like. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Pause for effect.
Pause for effect is fun.
Yeah, you know, but pregnant? No, I don't think so. It makes me think that moment is fat as fuck and angry for no reason.
Yeah.
Well, angry because they're fat because they're with child.
Can I teach you one thing about this?
All the women hate this podcast now.
No. We're all about pregnancy. I'm going to teach you one thing. Okay, this is exactly how you can build suspense.
Hold on, man. I got a real chip issue going on here. We were pounding chips before the podcast. I got one in the back of my teeth that's really pissing me off. Hold on one sec. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. No, please. I mean it. That's how you build suspense. You like that? Oh, you just got mind fucked, son. High five, Austin. Across the thing. Psh. See, I'm building suspense on what Jonah is going to give me a tip on how to build suspense. Now, explain to me how to build suspense, please. Oh, look at this motherfucker. You feel that? Did you feel that? Hey, everyone listening in your cars, did you feel that shit? Did you feel the suspense? Is there a little tension in the air? You can cut that tension with a goddamn fart coming at you, wet and stinky. All right, go ahead.
I'm glad that you didn't say cut that suspense with a knife because I don't like that term. Because it should be like it's so tense in here you can't cut it with a knife. Do you know what I mean? Like it's uncuttable.
I like that.
Yeah, but a fart cuts through anything, you know? That's the thing.
You know why? Because it's like a spirit, right? You don't see a fart always. Sometimes there's fart particles in the air if you blow one.
Right.
You know, I really wish, like, you ever see, they do it every
And
now and
you know
then.
what? For you and I, spirit never gets broken.
No, of course not,
Right.
man. Spirit always remains high. It's unbreakable, made of adamantium and vibranium combined. So with a fart, every now and then I've seen video where people
And
posted-
unobtainium?
There was a third one you made up?
Isn't that a thing?
What is it called?
Unobtainium?
Unattainium?
Yeah.
It's unattainable?
That is in a movie. Austin, producer?
Avatar.
Never saw it, never will. So
Have you seen Ferngully?
The Last Rainforest?
Yeah.
No, too depressing.
Well, then you've never seen... Okay, then you're never going to see it.
The reason I didn't want to see Ferngully, The Last Rainforest, is because I used to watch the movie Land Before Time.
Great movie.
And it was on VHS, and they would have a preview for
Yeah, they did.
Ferngully,
That's
The
how-
Last Rainforest. And it's just the guy's voice who was narrating, doing
Yeah.
the movie guy voice, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't like him. And
That's exactly how I know about the movie. Is because of the... because of...
Land Before Time?
Land Before Time.
very depressing.
Huge.
movie as
You ever
well.
see the sequels?
No, are they wildly depressing too?
Never seen them. There's a lot of them. There's probably a good, you know... I wonder what the best one is. Austin, what's the best Land Before Time?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
just saw the first one.
Yeah.
For the listeners who aren't aware, Land Before Time is a dinosaur cartoon movie that came out probably in the mid to late 80s. And you think it's a sweet movie because it's about these baby dinosaurs who are trying to find their family.
Yeah.
And then you kind of find out at the end, like, this is not good.
Like Benji.
Is Benji like that?
I feel like anything in the 70s or 80s and early 90s that had like young animals in it, like they were just like, come on, kids, come on, we're gonna fucking ruin your day. That's all it is. That's all it was.
Dude, there's still some movies I watch where I'm just like, what the fuck did they put that in there for?
Yeah, The Bear was hard to watch. You ever see that one?
No.
Where like a cub,
I thought it was about people yelling at each other in a kitchen.
different movie.
Oh, different
Yeah.
show. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. No, there's also another movie called The Bear. I think with Danny DeVito from the 80s. That's kind of like that. Oh wow, weird. I didn't even know. Do you think that's the same movie with the show? No. Anyways, like there's Milo and Otis. That's all fucked up when you hear the real story behind it. There's like all these movies. But Benji, that's sad. I think.
There's too many sad ones. So, what the fuck were we talking about to start this podcast, by the way? I can't remember.
We weren't talking about anything yet. We're just talking about building suspense. Oh, did I ever tell you? Okay, Joe. So this is how you build suspense. Joe.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay.
This is not good for a podcast. You can't just
I
be
know.
silent for that long.
Uh-huh.
No, no, I was making a point towards something, and that's why you brought up like Avatar. No idea.
You said the suspense cannot be broken like adamantium.
No, it's one farts.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then
It
he said
farts.
unatanium, which I didn't know what the fuck that was.
Yeah.
But that's from Avatar.
Yeah,
There we go.
Avatar.
Now
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
back on message. Thank you, everybody. So every now and then they'll have this thing where it's almost like a blacklight effect of a fart. And it's just like a poof, right? That's why farts could cut through anything because they're almost like a spirit, I was going to say, because they move and they have some poop particles in there. There's little fart flakes in
Yeah.
there. Fart flakes, terrible cereal, by the way. Don't eat that. And it could kind of cut through like any kind of tension because it almost like forms around the tension. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
Or like a knife is sharp.
Right.
So you think you'd be able to cut through tension, but the tension is just too thick.
Yeah. It's almost
But
like
farts go
how
around and through.
how paper takes rock, but rock cuts through.
Absolutely.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jonah.
Mhm.
Now, because of that moment,
You back in?
we're going to be in sync the rest of the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't make a Backstreet Boys reference because I said in
I
sync.
can't make a Backstreet Boys
Please.
reference.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So
I can-
I've got a fun one.
Yeah.
You know, because the theme of this podcast is to ask dumb questions at points, right? Just getting dumb in general, right?
Yeah.
Being silly boys. And this is a dumb question for you. I like a good would you rather.
Okay.
You ever, you know, some good would you rathers in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, right? Would you rather clean dog poop off of your shoe or clean human poop off of your shoe? Show your work.
Is it my poop? Okay. Questions. My poop?
No, random human.
Random.
Yep.
Just random. I don't know who. So it could be mine.
It's definitely not yours.
So I for sure it's not. No, it's mine.
It's 100%
for
not
sure.
yours.
Okay.
Yes.
Am I walking through a park, or am I running for my life through a field of dead people?
This is just look. You are walking through. It doesn't matter how the poop got there. You just know what.
Well,
it
if I'm
is.
running through and I know they're all dead people and I'm trying to save my life, I'm okay with cleaning off human poop then.
Real quick though, if you're running for your life, your last concern is cleaning poop off your shoe.
Well, when you hit cement, you're gonna be slipping and sliding all over the place. You need that shit off of there. Like that's a fact. Like you need it off.
Yeah, but you scrape it off and you keep going. These are shoes that you want to wear again, so you want them clean.
Right. Well, I would want to wear the
Okay,
shoes
well,
that
fuck
commemorate.
the shoes. Fuck the shoes. How about this?
Okay.
Would you rather, if you got it in your hand, would you rather clean dog poop off your hand or human poop off your hand?
How did I get my hand? Was I cleaning my shoes off or what? Like what? Like what? How did the poop get on my hand? Did I grab it with my hand? Because like dog poop, that makes more sense. And oops, I got to cut my glove, or I didn't know what's going on. Human shit. What am I doing here? Where's my life? Why am I picking up poop?
All right.
Am I throwing it?
Say you're walking down a rough street
Okay.
in any major city,
Okay.
and you saw the dog take a shit,
Okay.
and you saw a human being take a shit.
Oh.
Right, like this is a human being that's like maybe a drug addict, lives on the streets,
And I can't miss one. I have to hit one.
You have to hit one. One of them has to touch your hand.
So what am I squishing into?
Which would you rather squish into? Dog shit or human shit?
What's the sizes?
These are medium-sized dumps. They're roughly comparable to size, weight. They're
Okay.
made the same color.
So for a dog, it's big.
Every question you have, the answer is going to be the same.
Okay.
All right, that's also suspense. You're
Dog
building here.
poop.
Dog poop.
Dog poop.
Can
You?
explain why though? You just said you asked all these questions to get to an answer. You got to tell me why dog poop over human poop.
Because I don't believe in dogs, and I don't believe that they have souls, and I don't want to crush the soul of anybody. So if I'm crushing a poop that's inside of you, your soul's inside of you, and in a way, I'm crushing your soul. Do you know what I mean?
This
I don't
episode
wanna-
should be called "Let's Get Silly." Okay. Why don't you believe? You said you don't believe in dogs.
Right.
So when you see a dog on the
I
street,
mean, all dogs do go to heaven.
they do.
You
but
do
when
know
you-
that.
when you see someone walking their dog, you don't believe that thing is real, or do you not believe? You just don't believe they have a soul, is what you meant.
Both.
How do you not believe a dog's real? Are you're fucking with me?
I'm fucking with that part.
Okay.
Yeah.
of
Okay.
course, 'cause
So
you've had a
what
dog
I'm trying to
come
say
up
is,
to
what
you
I'm trying to
before.
say is, I would.
You've petted a dog before, so
Of
you know
course, I've
they're
pet
real.
dogs. Yeah.
Okay.
Pet dogs, fuck dogs, all the same. They're all the same. I would say, yeah, dog poop, because it's like, I feel like for some reason, no, you know what? Human shit's probably more sanitary, I feel like, right?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I agree with you. If I had to choose, I'm choosing dog poop. I'd rather accidentally touch
Why?
Because
your work.
I like dogs better as living things.
This explains a lot. If anybody listens to the
By the way,
podcast,
most people agree with this statement, by the way. They did a poll. Austin, if you could look up a poll, there was some poll where I think like 54% of people like dogs better than people.
It's really sad.
Something like that. That is not sad. Well, it's sad that people suck so much that we choose dogs over them. I guess that's where the sadness comes from.
yeah, but if you could hear like a dog's inner monologue, you'd hate dogs too.
I think their inner monologue is like, I like this person. This person gives me treats. I want to be with
No,
this
I'm
person
using
all
this
the time.
person so
How
I
could
can
protect this
survive
person?
and succeed and move forward.
Everyone's using everyone, baby. At least they're excited to see you.
Yeah, but like, so is, a lot of rich people's wives.
Not really. Those
Well,
you met rich people's wives. They always
You don't
act
think
like,
they act like?
"Ugh, we have to go here again. I told you to get me a new tennis racket. I'm going to be with Marco in the Hamptons this weekend, and you know that." Blah blah blah. Like that's my impression of
It's good.
a super rich
Been
chick.
working on that.
No, it just comes natural to me.
Yeah, I can see
Talent's
that.
weird like that.
Yeah.
And sorry, no, but like why is this human being shitting on the ground?
True.
Right? There's something about human beings in their shit that just makes me think like, what could be in there? They eat. There's more diseases they're susceptible to. I don't know the word I'm looking for there, or I can't say it. They're just more.
See, I feel like dog
eat-
shit
dogs
is
eat the
notorious for
same
being
thing.
worse.
But most dogs,
Like you can
eat,
get like worms from it, right?
well, if they're sick, if it's a sick dog, I'm
Yeah.
assuming this was not a sick dog.
But sometimes
I'm not eating their shit. I'm wiping it off my hand.
I'm gonna tell you right now, this is why I'd rather clean off dog shit, because sometimes in dog shit, there's a diamond ring in there
because they eat diamond rings.
because they eat diamond rings. That's it. That's the answer. Because
Okay.
sometimes there's prizes in dog shit
And human
because
shit,
they eat anything.
human shit's probably not a lot of prizes.
No, it's just cancer
Okay.
for some people.
For some people.
Yeah.
For some people.
Yeah.
Interesting point. All right, that was a fun one. I feel like.
Yeah.
You're very thorough, Jonah.
Yeah,
You're
thank
a
you.
thorough man, and I respect that about you.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm the guy when you do like, is the cup half full, half empty? Did you drink out of it or did you fill it up? Which one's it? You know what I mean?
yeah. What kind of cup? I drink out of glasses. Can I use a straw? Like these are the things you're thinking about
Right.
when people try to give you that sunny.
Yeah, is it half?
optimism.
And then they're like, well, I don't know. What is it? I'm like, you're the one that gave me the cup. Like, if it was,
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So did you finish your answer on the dog shit?
Yeah, I basically said I would choose a dog because I like dogs better, and I just feel like dogs are supposed to shit all the time. Or
Okay.
not all the time, but like
How about
out
this
in
one?
the world.
Okay, Joe, you're a little hungover from the night before. You wake up, you're like, I just want something. I got a sweet tooth. That's all I want. You open up your freezer, you grab something, you start licking it because you want ice cream, and then, it's shit, frozen shit, right? Would you rather it be human frozen shit or dog frozen shit? What would you rather be? Oh God, like I think that one's human,
I'm gonna pull a Jonah here and be like, why is there frozen shit in my fridge?
right?
Whose frozen shit is in my fridge? Is this a family member's? Is this a like? No, dude.
What would you rather be like? Oh no,
I don't. I still.
that's
if I
happened
had
to somebody. You know
if I
that?
had to lick a frozen dog shit or frozen people shit.
Yeah.
I still think
Not where it's like back to being soft, where it's still hard.
horrible, dude. This is horrible.
Yeah. Well, you're the one that has a question.
Well, I asked which one would you wash off your skin.
Yeah.
Not which one would you lick with your tongue.
Okay.
God.
If you had
Why don't
to.
you answer
I
first?
think it's human shit. I think human shit, because there's like old
be more-
old human food in that. You know what I mean?
I just think that whoever would do that, whatever human being would take their shit and freeze it into a popsicle in my freezer is someone who doesn't have my best interest at heart. And they're going to tell the world that
Okay,
I
let's
licked
say
their
your
shit,
partner. Okay.
and they're evil and they're spiteful and they're bad.
Yeah.
They need to be murdered.
Okay.
And so
So that's how you
That's why I was a
justify
dog.
murder.
I justify murder for way less. No, if you put a shit popsicle in my freezer, I have the right to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily.
Okay.
Yeah. Why wouldn't I be able to kill you for that? In my own home.
You know home?
Because that's a threat against my life. You're
That's
trying
true.
to get me sick.
Yeah, yeah.
You tried to trick me into licking a shit popsicle.
Yeah, but what if like it was like your significant other, and then they were just keeping it so they could get it tested later?
Also, in what world? By the way, I don't eat popsicles, and you're not supposed to put shit in a freezer to get tested. I don't think. This went from a fun one to like I don't know what's happening in the world one. It made me sad and depressed
Why?
Because why would anyone ever do that to someone? Why would anyone? This is why people like dogs better.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's not like it's not. I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, that's what would you rather is. You're not gonna. Would you rather go to the grocery store, or would you rather shop at Target? That's not a.
No, but would you rather is supposed to be like an.
Then you're like, well, I'd
thing.
rather do that. They're like, okay, that's it.
No, I know, but would you rather is supposed to be like pretty close to even, like wiping human shit off your hand or wiping dog shit off your
So
hand?
what's
It's
the
fairly
difference
human.
between licking
You're-
human shit
no,
and
but
dog shit?
It's not. It's the scenario in general to me tells me that there's someone's out to get you if they're trying to trick you into licking human shit.
Okay.
So that's why it went from like this thing about just you reminded me how evil people are.
Okay.
People. This is why everyone likes dogs better. In no world does a dog go, I'm gonna shit and then trick my dog friend into licking it. Dogs don't, get mad and fucking ruin the middle class of their dog community. They don't,
don't think
fuck
so?
each other over. No, they don't. Dogs aren't. Only human beings do this shit. Think about the stuff human beings do to each other is way worse than anything animals do. And some animals eat each other. You know what I mean?
Do.
They do. Did you get the stats on that, Austin?
I found no stats. I found a lot of articles being like why people like it, but I literally looked up percentages and I couldn't find
like an
anything.
actual poll.
But I believe you. I'm sure there is one, but there's 1,000 articles about like why. It's like psychology articles. I'm like, it's
All
not
right, well,
telling me
listeners, this is for the listeners in the comments if you can. Tell us what you like better, animals or people? Dogs specifically. Do you like dogs more than people and why?
You like dogs more than cats, Joe?
I do.
Have we discussed this on the podcast before? I don't think we
No,
have.
we have not. I
Okay.
like dogs more than cats, but I also like cats a lot.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
I like all animals.
What's the traits you hate most about dogs and the traits you hate most about cats?
The traits I hate most about dogs is that they are very, very needy.
Okay.
The traits I hate most about cats is that they just seem annoyed to be around people a lot
Okay.
of times, and they're just a little stuck up, and their dander's terrible.
Uh-huh.
Are
Are you allergic?
No, but I know
Yeah.
a lot of people who were.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you allergic?
No,
you
I had
could
two
be, 'cause
cats.
you
And
had to,
I had
yeah.
two cats, but then all of a sudden, all my friends were allergic, and they like. I will say that is more of a thing I've noticed with people with cats, how they react to cats and how they react to dogs. Is people that are allergic to cats react to cats with like hitting them, like lightly with their hat, or like they have no problem with being physical about pushing a cat away for some reason, because it feels like they're more like coming at them, and with dogs, it's kind of like, oh, you're an idiot, get out of here, whatever.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, dogs just seem more. I don't know. They're more excited. They want to play more. They're great in their own ways.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs and cats. They both have nice qualities to them. I don't like it when people are like, "I love dogs, fuck cats," and they want to shit all over them. I'm like, you could like both.
What's your thoughts on exotic pets? Like
a
people that
monkey?
like, yeah, like a monkey or like a squirrel. What's with that? Or like a pig?
I've never heard of a squirrel, but a pig is pretty crazy. We all know there's that movie Varsity Blues where he has a pig, and Bacon was the pig's name.
Mm-hmm.
Funny. And yeah, I don't know, cute little pig, little teacup pig. You ever seen one of
Yeah,
them?
but they
That'd
get
be
real
fun.
fat and big and ugly.
Well, if they get, so they're not ugly.
Okay.
I don't think so. I'm okay with it as long as they're taking care of the animal and the animal's in the right environment. Sure.
If your wife was like, listen, for the kids, we got to get some form of an exotic pet. Like, what's the one you're like, I'll do that? Like a bat? Would you do a bat?
A bat.
Yeah.
Bat's your lead off. A fucking
They
bat.
stay to the top and they just kind of creepy.
No child.
Makes you feel like you're part of, like, it makes you feel like you live in Batman's lair.
no.
That's fun.
Batman's his cave.
Cave,
Yeah,
asshole.
thank you.
Oh, it's not a lair? Oh, it's not a lair?
No one would call it a lair.
I did.
The Joker has a lair. Bad guys have a lair.
Yeah.
The good guys don't have a fucking lair.
Well, they have layers,
What's
like
going on?
emotional layers. They always
Emotional
do,
layer.
yeah.
They put walls up.
They
You're
put
not, you're
walls
not
up.
wrong about that. What exotic pet would I be okay with living in my
Like
home?
a mongoose?
I don't know what the fuck a
fuck
mongoose
is
is. Is that
wrong
like a
with you?
goose? What is a mongoose?
No, it's
again?
like
a
a
very
honey
fast-
badger.
Oh,
it's
fuck
like one
them.
of
They're
those.
insane,
it's like
man.
a subspecies of honey badger. They're evil.
a ferret. I'd like a ferret.
You like a ferret?
Yeah, those
Or-
are similar to mongoose.
Have
I
you
would
ever-
do
What
have
it.
you
they
ever-
did in Friends, a duck, a chicken and duck they had in Friends. That'd be a fun one.
So, a comedian here in Chicago, his name is Blake Burkhardt. His old neighbor had a bunch of ducks, and during quarantine, I would go to, I shouldn't say quarantine, shutdown. Quarantine seems like I was breaking rules. I would go to Blake's house, and he would walk his ducks. Is this old man, and he like hated the ducks. There's like a row of ducks, and he'd have a little stick, and he's like, "Come on, ducks," and he would just walk the ducks And everyone's like, "Oh my god, you have ducks!" And he's like, he'd be like irritated that you have 20 ducks. How you like? Of course you're gonna get asked about your ducks, and they're all like following your lead.
It feels like,
Like you're the Pied Piper of ducks.
it feels like a personality choice to be like, I'm going to be the grumpy duck man.
I know, right?
Because everyone's,
You don't fall into that.
well, you don't. And he knows he's going to get a reaction.
Yeah.
You can't just walk 20 ducks down the street and not have people be like, dude, you have
What
ducks.
is going on
What's
here?
going on here? This is
Yeah.
awesome. I love ducks, right?
Come on,
So
ducks.
then he's like, well, yeah, I got these dumb ducks always hanging
Yeah.
around, man. Like,
Yeah.
that's how he plays it instead of just being like, yes, I really love dogs and they're my
Uh-huh.
favorite dogs. And this one's name is Murray. That one's name is Bobby. That one's name is Gus.
Keep going.
Solid duck names, right? That one's
Yeah,
name is
that's a good one.
Judas.
Yeah.
Watch out for him. And that one's name is Scott. This one's name is Macaulay. Don't ask.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Don't leave him home alone. Huh?
There you go.
What?
See? Fun stories there.
So what would be? I interrupted you. What would be the?
I said
Animal.
ferret.
Ferret.
would work. Is
Have
that
you ever-
exotic enough or not really?
That's
'Cause
exactly.
People have ferrets.
Yeah.
so-
Have you ever stayed at somebody's house drunkenly and woken up to ferrets in the room? That is a
No.
very scary experience.
No.
That has happened to me.
But the first time I saw a ferret was crazy. This dude who lived in my block, I grew up on a street of all apartments, like first 10 years of my life. So this one apartment, like two over, it was always like every year it was like a new family would move in and out. It was like lease to lease, some of these people. And I remember this one dude we were kind of friends with for a little bit. He had a ferret. And the first time we saw it, it was nuts because it was going around the room all crazy and
Yeah.
running around. That was part of the fun of it. And then they had like a Pringles can it would go in and out of for fun.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, I want a ferret. The thing's nice. I got to
Yeah.
pet it a little bit, and it just seemed like this furry little it felt cartoonish.
yeah.
Ferrets are cartoons.
How do you feel about? They are very much cartoons, by the way, and they just even the way they run around. You're just like. it's
But
gonna
if
go
I
through a
could
wall.
have any exotic pet, though, now that I think about it, penguin.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
yeah,
a good
dude.
one.
Love a penguin. Like in Ace Ventura, the movie, Pet Detective, Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
He had a penguin and he had made like a flappy door for it to get in and out of the
Oh yeah.
freezer.
I'd make it wear a monocle. I feel like penguins look like they're so studious. They should wear a monocle the whole time. You know?
That would be fun,
Yeah.
Make it a real pompous ass penguin.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
I think so too. I would do. What would I do?
Yeah, what would yours be?
I didn't think about this. I probably should have thought about this before I asked you the question.
A bat?
I think a bat would be sweet. They're scary. I used to live with bats. I had when I moved. So when I lived in like Milwaukee, I lived kind of in the city. Compared to Chicago, it's not. But like
That's a city.
yeah. And then I moved to. My mom got remarried, and we moved to like a rural lake town, and we moved in, and my stepdad had bats that were like not in the belfry, but they'd be like in the attic, and they would like come out, at night, and they would like fly and they kind of swoop down. And my mom and I had we would be running throughout the house, being like, "Oh my god, what is this?" and like not knowing what it was. And he was so used to it, he just would be on the couch with a beer, being like, "You guys are overreacting. They don't attack you." He just would, they just swoop down. They just go past your whatever. It's fine. They do sonar. Stop moving around.
Well, that's why. That's why I just think when you said bat, I'm like, why would anyone want a bat as a pet? You can't play with it. You can't do anything with it. It's just there.
That's what I don't understand with a lot of these exotic pets. You can't play with a. My uncle has a horse. His horses. They have a horse farm. My and uncle, and he like wrestles. Horses First off, horses scare me. They scare the shit out of me.
Why do horses scare you?
They're so powerful and huge. One of my aunt's horses kicked her dog and basically ripped it in half. And they were like, "Well, it's another dog," because you're so used to dogs getting murdered when you live in like that area. Like bad things.
Christ.
I know. Ended up that somehow.
that area, like in a farm, or like are they getting wolves
Yeah.
are attacking them too?
Yeah, like a farm.
I
Like
like how at first you're just like nonchalant, like they're used to dogs getting murdered when they're in that area. I'm like, it sounds like an investigation.
I know it should happen. I mean, luckily the dog lived through this, but had to get sewn back together, right? I mean, that's how. So like, I cannot walk behind a horse because of that.
You're not supposed to walk behind a horse because if they do kick, you're dead as well.
My uncle, like, he's so close to these horses that he like wrestles with them. Like they go up on their hind legs and he like tickles them and they wrestle. And the first time I saw it, I was like, is he gonna fuck this horse? And then I was like, oh, he's just playing with the horse. And I'm like, this horse is gonna kill him. And they just don't. It's like, it's insane when people have that type of connection with like a magnificent beast,
Yeah.
Like when you see those videos of like people that like
Oh, you ever
befriend
see the videos?
Bengals?
Yeah, where there's awesome videos. I love them every time I see them. Where it's like this lion was injured when it was a baby cub, and
Yeah.
this guy and his wife nursed it back to health. Then they re-released it into the wild, and now they see each other for the first time in 8 years. And the lion recognizes him and runs up and starts hugging him, and they're
Yeah.
going nuts. And it's like, oh fuck yeah, it's my lion. I love my lion, right?
Yeah.
Those videos are great, but I still don't know if I'd want a lion as a pet. And even with a monkey, depends what type of monkey. If it's like that little like Marcel type looking monkey,
Uh-huh.
like tiny one, like the one from Outbreak, I think you could handle that one. But like a regular monkey, like a traditional smaller monkey,
Yeah.
those will rip your fucking head right off your face.
For sure.
Head right off your face. Your face right off
Are
your
you
head.
referring to apes or monkeys?
Well, apes, obviously.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
There's some monkeys out there.
What's
that'll
the
fuck you
difference
up.
between monkeys and apes again? One
Monkeys
is a
have
tail.
tails and they're smaller, like the capuchin monkeys you were talking about. Those, but like apes are the scary ones that will like they're stronger than like 10 men. Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
chimpanzees,
Like
and
gorillas. Gorillas and apes.
Chimpanzees.
shit. Yeah, orangutans people own. And they're
Orangutan.
scary.
Michael Jackson owned a chimp.
Yeah, it's not good.
That one would rip your arms off and beat you with
And
them,
then you
right?
can't take care of them. They're too like they need so much food and they're large, but they're
You
cool.
think that's how he got away with it with those kids for so long? Because he was just like, you fuck with me, you fuck with Bubbles. Like you like look him right at it, and then he'd make Bubbles like rip apart their stuffed animal and be like, that could be you.
Bubbles has a cigar. And he puts the cigar out on them.
Now he's like,
Yeah,
then
just
give me
walks
that
around.
dick. I said dick. I didn't mean to do that. we went almost the whole podcast.
Real quick, everyone. We decided to say, no, that doesn't count because you're calling someone a dick.
Okay.
But we're still not talking about it, so we're still okay.
Yeah.
Well, at the end, we'll celebrate.
Yeah.
We're okay, because we haven't talked about it.
Okay.
The subject matter, that is. But I want to say directly into the camera, I've shared clips from other podcasts where Michael Jackson jokes happen, and the internet is 100% on the side of Michael Jackson's innocent. So
Yeah.
that
Nice.
was just a joke.
No, it sounds like a clip.
That was just a joke.
Clip it.
Don't come. Well, put this on the end of the clip then, smart guy. That was a joke. We don't need anyone trying to dox this man. He's a good man to my left right here.
It sounds like you're going to give away my info right now. Don't dox him, okay? Don't dare give out his address. He lives at
I'm saying not to dox him.
3125 North Polina Street.
I like how I said, yeah, it's your old address and you still shouldn't have thrown it out there, asshole. That person's going to get murdered now.
Well, you didn't need to
because
say
of Michael
old
Jackson
address.
joke.
It seemed fake.
It's not an address.
You can call me at 555.
Yeah, there we go. But I like how I said, don't dox him. And then you go, sounds like you're going to dox me. Like, where did you put that together from the sentence I said? I said,
Because
don't
usually, like,
dox
don't
him.
dox him is like basically saying dox him.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. When you're saying, like, hey, guys, don't, you should have a wink to it when you say it.
I didn't. I was just
Yeah.
trying to make it clear because I shared a Michael Jackson clip on TikTok about our comedian friend of ours was Mike Leibovitz.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, dude, Michael Jackson might have been telling on himself when you think about the Bad album. Think about the
Oh, yeah.
songs. It's
Yeah.
like, I'm bad. I know it. The other big hit on that's like, I'm talking to the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. I'm a smooth criminal. Like everything in that is basically telling on himself in a
Yeah.
weird way. And they always talk about how like these people will drop hints,
Right.
you know? And so I was just like, oh, good point, you know? And I threw that clip up there and it got like a couple 100,000 views. And the overwhelming consensus, according to the thousands and thousands of comments, were that we're stupid fucks and he's innocent and we don't know shit.
Yeah.
And, you know, along those lines. So I was looking out for you because you're my friend.
Thanks.
So I didn't want you to get in trouble
He's
making
innocent.
a Michael Jackson joke.
He's innocent. OJ's innocent. They're all innocent. What are you talking
See?
about?
There we go. And by doing all this, when Austin tries to make a clip out of this, which I don't even think he should waste his time doing, it'll be harder for him to do it. Okay.
That's kind of like don't dox.
Anyway, I'm the
that
guy
feels
who
like a
puts the
don't dox
clips
thing.
up, so don't make a clip of it.
Yeah. Dink.
One time I tried to.
I dinked that one perfectly with your eye.
You did.
Yeah. Dink.
One time I
That was a little dink.
was at a bar and I saw this woman, just a pretty good looking woman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you know what I'll do? I'll give her the old wink. But then my brain couldn't decide which eye to blink,
So you did both?
so I did. I'm like, what's up, sugar? And I did one of those,
Yeah.
and we got married, so it worked out. I'm kidding, of course.
I hate that when I don't know if someone's like, because I'm so blind. So like when people like, are they looking at me like they know me? Are they looking through me? Are they looking past me? Looking at somebody else? Is this girl interested? You know, when I was single, like, is it just someone like, it's confusing that I'll just stare to the point where I make it awkward for both people. And then I just kind of walk away.
See, I like whenever because I've been there. We've all been there where you make the mistake of waving at some, or you think someone's waving at you.
That's the worst.
And you wave back.
You ever high five somebody when they went for a high five and it wasn't supposed to be for you?
No,
I've done that a few times.
that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But the worst is I'm very good about looking out for people.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember I waved to my son, and this woman waved back at me, and to make her not feel bad, I was like, "Hey, good to see ya."
Yeah.
Never met her before in my life.
Yeah.
But I just threw that out there. That way she thought she saved face.
Yeah.
Instead of having me just be like, "I'm not waving at you,
Right.
you fucking idiot."
Yeah.
I'm waving at that awesome little kid right there.
Yeah.
Duh.
Duh.
You know, like so. But I made her feel good.
And that kid ain't never gonna wave at you, bitch.
No, you ain't his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
even try it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I snapped my finger.
Did she try to talk to you afterwards? That's the worst.
No,
when you
it was like an in passing thing. You know, we're passing.
Well, nothing makes me more irritated when you accidentally get the attention of somebody else and they think that you're like inviting them to talk and then you're stuck. You're probably good enough where you're just like, that's not for you. I don't want to talk to you. I'm like, what's going on, sir? And I have this fucking long ass conversation with these people that I hate.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty good at like breaking away from a conversation, but I definitely don't want anyone to feel bad. So I would
What's
make
your
them-
best advice for breaking away from a conversation that you want to be into?
You have diarrhea. Be like, I have really bad diarrhea. I can't.
And that's
I can't do this.
as we all know who listen to the podcast, and that's not a lie for
It's
you.
not a lie. But then you know what else you could say? I told someone once, I'm like, hey, look, I'm on a new medication and I'm going to zonk out during this entire conversation. I just can't keep attention right now. So
Yeah.
I just got to get moving. It was great running into you though. Dude,
Yeah.
it's so good running into you.
Even saying I'm on a new medication is enough for them to be like, I'll go.
Yeah, they're not going to
Yeah.
ask what it is.
Yeah.
They don't need to know. They don't want to know.
Yeah.
Because then it goes from just a nice little chit chat to
Yeah.
now they're invested in my life.
I would have a friend, if he was really not in the conversation, he would, like, let's say you were a teacher and then you knew that I was like a plumber or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He'd just be in the middle. He goes, wait a second, wait, who teaches at South Central High? Is it you or is it me? I forgot. And then you'd be like, me. And he's like, oh, go on. And then he would just do that and people would be like, this guy's a fucking idiot. And then would walk away.
And
He's like, it works.
bizarre.
Yeah, he goes, it works every time. It just works.
By being like incredibly dumb.
Incredibly dumb.
Like, because there's no, what's the follow up to that?
It's like he wouldn't even like. They would be like, "Are you serious?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then they would answer.
I would be if someone.
And
pulled
then
that
he's
on
like,
me,
then he'd be like, "Oh, go on." Like he's interested. Like, "Oh no,
I
keep
couldn't go
talking."
on. I'd be like, "Why did you think you worked at a high school when you don't work at a high school?" That's what I would say right back to him. Like,
Uh-huh.
why would you think that?
I just thought that.
You just thought that you worked at the same high school that I teach at, and you didn't know.
So you work there.
Yeah, I work there.
I don't.
Yeah, how do you not fucking know where you work? This went from
thought
like
that.
a pleasant exchange to me questioning how fucking stupid you are.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Do you
that's
not
how
want to
I
talk
work.
to me anymore?
I don't. But no,
Oh,
actually, I do.
okay,
'Cause I
I'll
want to
leave.
figure out what.
See how that works? See?
I guess.
See?
but
You're playing, and you were like, "Okay, I'll get you." No, I got you, buddy.
You still got me.
Yeah.
I should have said, yeah, I do. I want you to get in the car. I'm dropping you off at a mental institution.
Right.
I would immediately ask, like,
And then I'd be like, are we going to take my car or yours?
you know what I would do? But here's what I would do. I would go to your Facebook page and be like, hey, is this the woman who sucks my dick or yours? Because I'm pretty sure she sucks my dick, but it's a picture of your wife.
Oh.
Or no, it's a
You just brought up the D word too. That's both of us.
No, but that's not talking about it.
We both did it.
No, because you're doing this because you want to talk about it.
No, I don't.
No, it is. He's
No.
so doing it. That's not that. When you use
If this was the 80s and it was you can't do it on television, we'd both be slimed right now. You know that.
Motherfucker, I have no problem with us swearing and saying any kind of swear word we want. I have no problem with us being like, oh, that guy was a dick or is a dick.
Right.
Or
That's
that-
not what you're saying. You're referring to your penis. Is the point. And I did too.
No, but it's still not the point. I was using it as a thing of an insult. We were getting away with it. Now we have to address it to the listeners what's going on.
You
And
just
I think
did.
this is what you secretly. No, they don't
No.
know what we're doing. For everyone, we did not announce this at the beginning of the show.
No. But we just did like 3 minutes ago, didn't we?
No, we did not.
Okay, I'm not doing the thing that my friend does to people. I swear to God, you just mentioned that.
Did I mention it?
It was mentioned twice already in passing. The first time
No,
Jonas
the
said
dicks-
no.
the dicks
not
were
the
meant-
dicks thing. Did I mention why when he first said dick?
Yeah, it was brought up.
Yeah,
No,
okay,
and then
okay.
It
also
was
the end of-
not. It
Jesus
was
Christ,
not.
I thought I was losing my mind.
end of
No, it was.
Oh,
The end
I
of
thought I was
last
losing my
episode,
mind.
It was
Oh
mentioned
my God.
twice also.
No, at the last episode,
Oh.
I said we need to have a whole episode in which we don't talk about penises.
Right.
Is what I said.
Yeah.
Right. And then I have not explained when you said dick and you called yourself out, and I go, no, that doesn't count because you're using it as an insult. And then I'll explain later to everyone. That's
Okay.
what I said, and I never explained it
Yeah, you didn't explain it then. No.
because
Okay.
because I was hoping we would
Okay.
then go through the whole episode without talking about penises or dicks in the sense of, oh, I wonder if that guy's got a big dick, which is Jonah's favorite thing to talk about on the podcast. So that now I have to talk about it because it's bad podcasting. Listeners, our goal for this episode was to go the whole episode without talking about penises.
And it's
I
my
say penises
fault
because dicks are different.
And it's my fault because I said it. I'm like, shit. And then because I said it, you got dick on the brain. And
no, I
that's my.
didn't. Well, because I was trying to fucking outwitty your weirdo person.
I know.
By
It's such a
throwing
go-to, isn't it? Suck my dick. As an insult.
As an insult, it's a great one. Yeah,
it's a good one.
Of course it is. And that's fine. We could always, that could be in every episode.
Okay.
But not that it should be.
Yeah.
Because now Jones going to be like, great, every episode I'm going to say, suck my dick.
Yeah.
No, but I just thought like, dude, a lot of people are like, you guys talk about dick a lot on this podcast.
I like how you put solely that blame on me.
No, it's not solely. It's
Okay, thank you.
60-40. It's not 50-50
I
on
think
that
it's more.
regard.
I think it's more 50-50.
60-40.
Thank you,
Jonah,
Austin.
own it.
I think it started
Jonah, you
off.
take it over the edge. He might bring it up, but you take it to a new length.
Well, I
Oh
was-
yes, 100% for sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, and that
I will.
gives
I
you
will
the 60,
1,000% agree with that.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, for sure. Yes. Of course. Yes. Yes, I'll give that. Yeah.
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 You'll say stuff like,
Yes, and you.
you
I
don't
heighten.
need to, though.
I'm heightening.
We're not an improv team.
I'm heightening.
You don't need to heighten or yes and.
What would be our
Be a
improv team?
person.
What do you think? The J&J connection?
That's a horrible name. Dude, most improv teams have horrible names on that team. No, you know what the best one is? Cook County Social Club. That's a great name.
That's a good name.
Yeah, because it almost sounds like prison.
Would it be like Let's Get
Sounds
Cum?
like a soccer team.
Would it be Let's Get Cum?
Let's Get Cum. No, you know, what's another one I heard? Oh, like, you know, improv teams usually have names like Hot Ice Cream was one that my buddy.
Yeah. I was in called Butter.
No.
I was in a team called Butter.
Butter.
JJ.
Ryan Buds had Hot Ice Cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, Butter, like stuff like that. Like I saw one group
Michael's
called
Pizza's one.
what was it called? It was called like Sarah's Calling.
Yeah.
And I remember like, why is it fucking called Sarah's Calling? And they'd be
Right.
like, well, whenever we got together, his ex-girlfriend Sarah, she'd be calling. So
calling.
God, Sarah's Calling. So
Yeah.
that's why they called it that, I think.
Would ours be like? Well, then fine. Would ours be like? Here comes Dix again.
Dixie again.
Dix again. The
Something like you like Dixie. It's got Dixie
Yeah.
in there, and then like I don't know, Dixie again. No, I'd have to. I don't know.
the Dixie
This is
Dixie
stupid.
Brothers. This is
No,
stupid.
this is dumb.
One time I saw an improv team called Free Drinks. So that way when they were on the posters and stuff, it just said free drinks.
Oh, nice.
And it would have where it was and
Yeah.
the ticket price and everything.
That's cool. Seems like
Yeah.
a punk rock band move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I would never be in an improv duo with you, so I don't have to worry about this ever.
Is it because
No,
of
I'm
me
sorry,
or because of the improv part?
It's because of the improv part.
Okay.
I do a podcast with you.
I know. So I was like, huh.
No, I don't mind. I mean, I there was a time in my life where I did improv. I did improv before stand up, or I did. I mean, I took classes. But
So
now
for the
I'm just
listeners-
so far away from that world.
Do you want to talk about the world for a little bit? Because I
Yeah,
kind of
go
want to explain. Okay, so for the listeners, you know, obviously you know what improv is. Everybody kind of knows what improv is, but really what it is like, you know, you're with a group of failed theater nerds that have never had anything in their life, and you all finally have something together, and then they get very mad at you for not hanging out with them all the time. And it's a very hard. That's just me being mean to improvisers, but it's insane how like I don't like comedy podcasts that just talk about comedy, but it's like it's weird how like stand up, improv, theater, sketch, like we're all comics, we're all comedians, right? We're all kind of like going the same goal, but man, they are fucking so different from each other. The types of people that kind of like latch on to that area, it's so crazy.
I personally think the only comedians are stand-up comedians.
Really?
I think if you do improv, you're a comedic actor. I think if you do sketch, you're a comedic actor. I don't think you're I think comedian has to be stand-up comedian. only.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. I kind of agree with you on that.
Just
honestly.
because, I don't know.
I know we're both identified stand-up comics, so that's probably
And it's
why.
not a snobby thing. It's just a thing that I think most of the general public would probably agree with me on that too.
Yeah.
Because I've heard people be like, actor and comedian Will Ferrell. I'm like, he's not a comedian.
Yeah.
When has he ever done stand-up? Does he have a special? Does he have an album that I know of?
Do you
I've
do,
never
like,
seen him go on a tour
Actor
of
and
stand-up.
comic? Will you take comic over? I think comic to me is more stand-up than comedian.
I still don't like comic for them either.
Okay.
I think it's just.
I'm saying I think to me
So if
comic
Will
means stand-up
Ferrell-
more than comedian means stand-up to me. When I hear comic, I hear stand-up. Comedian, I'm starting to kind of shift a little bit on that, but I still think stand-up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I think like improviser, I just think a bitch. I'm kidding. I'm completely kidding. I love a
Same
lot
thing
of
with
improvisers.
director. Whenever you hear director, you think of like a movie director. I don't know anyone who works at like a company as like director of operations and be like, "Oh, I'm a director."
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't.
Yeah, you say
that.
theater
A
director.
comedian, you say that and you're like, "Oh, you're on stage doing comedy, right?" And like,
Right.
"Oh no, I do movies." It's like,
Well, with
Yeah.
doctor, it should be medical doctor.
sure,
right,
well,
right.
If
Like,
I'm
you
a
have the-
doctor, I think of like a medical doctor.
Of
I
course,
don't think of
so-
a psychologist.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you could have your doctorate in a lot of things.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but if you're going to go by doctor, you need to be able to, if someone's like, is there a doctor here? This man's choking. You need to be able to be like, I'm a doctor, and then be
Yeah.
able to save him.
Yeah, not a fucking
Otherwise,
chemist
you,
doctor.
Yeah, you're not, sorry.
Like, I identify as a doctor.
Your pronouns are doctor and doc.
Mine's a doc, yeah.
Know.
Yeah.
Shit, man. I did see this funny video on TikTok, I want to say, where it was a sketch, or not even a sketch. It was a video of, they do like, what's it called, Austin? Help me out. Where you stitch a video. That's what it's called on TikTok. So it shows like,
mix it also.
yeah, you could remix it. So it showed like the original video and then like the joke response to it, which was kind of fun. So in the original video, it shows this woman and she's a hairstylist and people are sitting down in the chair and she says, "Do I have consent to touch you?" And they're like, "Yes, you do." And they're like, "Do you have consent to touch you?" And then it cuts to like a Hispanic barber shop where the dude sits down in the chair and then the barber's like, "Do I have consent to touch you?" And the guy's like, "How the fuck else are you supposed to cut my hair?" Like every guy was just like, duh. Like, what? It just made me laugh my ass off because in my head, this probably doesn't happen anywhere. There's probably one woman hairstylist who does this. She
Right.
decided to make a video, but because of the video, you have all these people out there going, "This is what they're doing now. This is what hairstylists are doing now. Can you believe this shit?" Well, it's like, no, it's one hairstylist. That's the fucking thing that gets me about the internet. It's like one person does something, but the video goes viral. So now we think it's this trend that's sweeping the globe.
Right.
But it just did crack me up because I remember thinking to myself, if I sat down in a chair and the stylist was like, "Do I have consent to touch you?" I'd be like,
What the,
the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Touch me where?
Yeah.
No, like just touch your neck and head because I have to cut your hair. I'm like, look, as soon as I sat down, I gave you consent. That's the
Right.
fucking deal. Like
Yeah.
you don't, if you're a hairstylist, you don't need to ask if you could touch my fucking head of hair.
Yeah.
I'm there for that reason.
Right.
It's not like I sat down in a random chair and you just started touching my head. I walked into a place that has scissors in the fucking logo. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm here for that reason.
Yeah.
Anyhow, something, it was just a beef on my mind with that shit.
Yeah, like if a gynecologist was like, "Can I touch your vagina?" I'd be like, "What the fuck?" If I was like a girl,
Yeah,
like,
totally,
what? Like,
man.
yeah, that's
Why
what I'm
are
here
you
for, you
there? Yeah.
fucking weirdo. Guess what? Now you can't.
Yeah.
It's gross. Who's that guy? Why? What do you do? Why is Joe Kilgallen here? What is
His
going on?
legs are closed for business, is what you'd say.
And then you'd be like, "How do you know my name?" I'm like, "I listen to you on the podcast all the time. You guys are great. I love hearing about dicks. It's fantastic."
I was going to compliment you because I was going to say, I like how you went with gynecologist because you were avoiding talking
I
about
did.
dicks.
Yeah.
That was
I
smart.
couldn't think of the doctor that is it oncologist? That's not oncologist. What is it?
Oncologist is cancer,
It
urologist.
is urologist.
But there's female urologist. Urologist could, it's, the
Yeah.
whole pelvic region.
Gotcha.
Essentially.
Yeah.
I think a better example would be a masseuse.
Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah.
laying down on the table and then they have to
Yeah.
ask you, and it's like,
And somebody like, no. And then
Yeah.
they just sit there for an hour.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're like, I don't feel any better. It's like,
They're
I have to
reading a
touch you.
book.
You're like, I don't want you. I don't want to be touched. I don't
put
consent
the
to that.
rocks on me. That's all I
Yeah,
want.
put the rock. I touch you the rocks.
I like that we're going to end this podcast with Austin getting the last great point. Great point.
Yeah.
That would be like if some dickhead laid down and the masseuse was like, well, imagine if the masseuse was like, "Can I rub your shoulders now?" What the fuck is happening
Can I
right
rub-
now?
and then they keep telling you, can I go lower? Can I go lower on
Well,
you?
she could ask for that.
Yeah.
Well, there's certain areas,
Okay.
obviously certain areas need to be asked. Duh. But overall,
I meant your
there's-
lower back, you fucking creeps.
it's a massive overcorrection that I don't think is happening. I think it was just one person doing. So I want to be clear that one person, you're doing too much. You're going so far the other way with things that you're
Yeah.
almost not even a functional person anymore.
Right.
Right. And that's the annoying part. Everyone, thank you for checking out this podcast for this week. Jonah, I'm sure you want to mention this, but we will be together in stand-up comedy at Mic Drop Mania, great comedy club in Chandler, Arizona, which is just outside of Phoenix. So if you're in the Phoenix area, get your asses out. March 22nd, March 23rd, 2 shows each night. Mic Drop Mania. You could go to joekilgallen.com to find the ticket link there. And we're going to have a dumb old time out in Arizona.
Yeah. I'm
hell
excited. We're gonna have so
Cubs
much
fans,
fun.
I want you there because we're going to go to spring training games during the day. We're going to tell jokes at night. Oh, a lot of fun out in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to plug, my man?
No, that's it. I'm very looking forward to that trip, and I want all the let's get dumbers out there.
Yeah, all the dumbass army.
Yeah, Dumbass Army.
Oh,
Ooh, give me some.
yeah. All
Like
right,
that.
everyone. Catch you next week.
Yeah.